So much color out here. Oh, everything's growing in so nicely. Hi there, welcome to my channel. I hope you're enjoying your summer season. I hope it's fun, I hope it's relaxing, all the things. Today I'm out here on my front porch to give you just a quick little update because it's exploding with color. My flowers are thriving, they're so big. I'm probably going to need to cut them back soon. So I wanted to give you a little look at them before I do that. I also wanted to take you through how I take care of my flowers, how I maintain them. It's really important. I mean, I love flowers. I put so much time and energy and money into them, so I want to make sure they're looking their best, and it makes a world of difference. I actually just went through a few tough weeks on my back deck. I was out of fertilizer, I wasn't spraying for budworm, and my flowers were absolutely looking terrible, but they've since rebounded. I'll probably cover those in a video here soon. So let's go ahead and get into it, and I'll show you the front porch. All right, look at these flowers. So huge. It's crazy to think how they started. I'll try to find some footage for when I was planning up my front porch, but these itty bitty little flowers have grown into gigantic monsters. I love it. I know a lot of people like a more simple look. I tend to like this really full maximalist look when it comes to flowers. I like it looking really lush. Very vibrant, very full. It's just a lot of fun. Now, I know these are really full and they're starting to really grow close together. I keep trying to space them out. I've actually pulled like this pot way out. It started way back over here. I've pulled this one out. I might get to the point where I actually need to remove some of these pots and put them elsewhere, maybe here or just down on the steps. See what it looks like. This little guy. We'll see, I might need to power wash my concrete, but I can start spacing them out, and that might actually be kind of fun to try different things. We'll see, but for now I'm gonna leave everything. Once I cut everything back, it might make a difference also. All right, so let's go ahead and just go through the flowers real quick. The pink are proven winners, Supertunia Vista Bubblegum, voracious, super aggressive, prolific grower. One of my favorites. You hear about this plant everywhere, I swear, but it's for a reason. It does really well. Then we have the proven winners, Super Bell. I believe this is Lemon Slice. I'm not loving the Super Bells, and I know I did this last year and I had some people warn me these two don't go well together because the Vistas tend to overpower the Super Bells, which I kind of knew, to be honest, but I just see these together and I thought, oh, that'd be so cute, but should have listened because yes, these are getting overpowered, but I'm not loving the Super Bells like here even. I feel like they're just, I don't know. No, maybe they're cute. They look good on camera. And I love them in this pot. We'll see. The jury's still out on Super Bells. I mean, they look so cute right there. How happy. Pretty little summer flowers. All right, and as my thriller, I have the Lime Time Coleus. This can do sun or shade. It can get to 40 inches tall, and you can see it's working on growing up vertically. So hopefully we get a little bit of height here in this pot. We have our Sweet Caroline sweet potato vine here, which is huge. I need to cut this back. It's starting to take over. I try to go in and kind of separate my plants out in my pots and just make sure everybody's getting along nicely. See, here we have kind of a rude little reacher. You can only do so much before you actually need to cut them back, which cutting back, I know it seems painful, but cutting back is actually good for your plants. And I'm about at that point. You can see the scraggler here that needs to be cut. I'll probably go in and cut a lot of this undergrowth here, a lot of them. They're going to get nice little haircuts very soon. purple fountain grass for my thrillers in my 2 pots. So here and then here. I'm trying not to make you guys sick. I did have a super bell back here. It wasn't getting enough sun, so I popped it out. I probably need to do the same for this one here. It looked like a good idea when I first planted it, but now these ones are taking over to where if there's not a plant here, it won't be noticeable. They'll start to fill in. I just love this view when I walk out my front door. How pretty is that? I stuck to the same plants just for a really cohesive look. So we have more of the sweet potato vine, coleus, potato vine. There's my wreath. It fell down. I need to reattach my little wreath hook. Okay, let's talk about this one. If you remember in my front porch video, I forced one Supertunia Vista bubblegum plant into this shallow container. I kind of split the root ball and really forced it down in there. I'll find some footage. And I wasn't sure if it was gonna live, if it was gonna do well, what would happen. But holy moly, look at that plant. That is one plant doing well. I'm pretty shocked. Plants are pretty amazing. And then we have one more pot in the corner. Again, over here, my super bell isn't quite keeping up with the Supertunia Vista bubblegum and the sweet potato vine. So that's just something to note, which is a part of gardening. I love kind of finding out what works, what doesn't. It's all good. We just learn and move on. Okay, so let's talk maintenance real quick. First and foremost, I fertilize my annuals about twice a week or every third watering. And what I use is the Proven Winners water-soluble plant food. This stuff is amazing. I've seen a huge difference. I noticed the foliage color is a deeper green. My flowers are much brighter and just healthier, much fuller. I can tell a huge difference when I use this and when I go without. Last year, this was available on Amazon. I can't find it on there this year, and so that's why I was going without it for a while. I couldn't find it at any of my local stores. What I do now is I order it through Home Depot. They offer free shipping, and I make sure I have a backup. So I'm almost through with this one. I have a backup already on its way. It'll be here soon before I run out. So in terms of feeding my flowers, I use my watering can. Someone gave me a great tip last year. I forgot you can just remove the little spout so that you can use the tip to really get it right at the roots instead of watering, you know, the leaves and the flowers themselves. So great tip, just remove that little spout thing from your watering can. And then the ratio for the plant food is 1 scoop per 1 gallon of water. So your scoop, and then my can is 1.75 gallons. So I just do 1.75 scoops. And just make sure it's 1-to-1 ratio for feed to gallons of water used. You can see I'm almost out. My food should actually be here any minute, which is great. I just fed all my plants yesterday, otherwise I would show you. It does take some time. This is one of those things that I have trained myself to look forward to because I love taking care of flowers and I just treat it like me time. I put in my podcast or audiobook and I just really enjoy. I go around, I listen and just enjoy taking care of my flowers. Okay, plant food, check. And we do this every third watering, which is more than you would think. You go through it pretty quick. Totally worth it though, especially if you love flowers like I do and put as much time, energy, and money into them. You want them to look their best. So definitely recommend the Proven Winners water-soluble plant food. Okay, next up, I spray once a week, usually in the evenings, for budworm, mainly caterpillars. The way you can recognize budworm damage is your plants will have holes in their leaves. You'll have a lack of bloom, so just a lot of green foliage, no blooms, or very few blooms. And then you might also notice black specks on the leaves, and that's waste left behind by those little caterpillars. If you look closely, you might even be able to find some caterpillars. That actually happened on my back deck when I was out of product and waiting on my concentrate to get here. I fell behind and I had budworm damage. My pots looked terrible back there. I should have taken a picture. I told myself to, but I was too upset. I thought my plants were too far gone. They look great now. They've rebounded beautifully. Just good maintenance makes all the difference. But I could go back there and look at my pots and I could find little caterpillars and I'd pull them off just by hand while I was waiting for my product to get here. So here's what I use for budworm spray. All right, so this is what I used last year. This is Captain Jack's BT spray for budworms, and it's in a ready-to-use bottle just like this. You can just go around and spray all of your leaves, all of your blooms, basically the whole container. But someone last year commented on my maintenance video, gave me a great tip and said, you know, you'd get a lot more use. It'd go a lot further if you used concentrate instead of the ready-to-use stuff. You guys are so helpful. What a great tip. So I got on Amazon and I actually got this concentrate and it's been working really well. This is a little bottle, like you can see size comparison here, but it's still really full and I've had this for several weeks. I just mix a tiny little bit. I can't remember the ratio right now, but it's just a tiny little bit, and I actually just kept this bottle of Captain Jack. So right now it has this concentrate in it. I just figured, why waste a bottle? So I use this, I just fill it with water, a little bit of concentrate, shake it up, and then go around and spray my containers, all of them. All of my supertunias, any annuals, I just figure, you know, it's best to just do a good job, spray them all. I get under here, kind of lift them and spray. Now this stuff doesn't smell the best, but definitely worth it. All right, that's about it for maintenance. Just the plant food every third watering, which is about twice a week. I usually do that in the morning since I water in the mornings. And then the BT spray once a week in the evenings. And then aside from those two things, I will be cutting back my annuals soon, giving them little haircuts. It just kind of revives them and keeps them looking fresh, so they can continue growing and looking good throughout the summer. All right, real quick before we go, I figure I'll jump upstairs and show you the two pots out on my balcony, and then we'll call it a day. Ziggy. All right, quick word on my grass out front. We had a company come yesterday. We have grubs. That's why we have those patchy yellow spots. They treated our lawn out front. The back looks fine, but the front looks awful. So please ignore. It should be on the mend soon. It's been treated. Grubs, dang it. But here is one of our pots on the balcony. I have two. I planted them pretty much matching off camera. I just did this for fun myself one night, and I think they're pretty fun. I have the Supertunia Vista bubblegum again, the sweet potato vine, and then, this is one of my super bells that was struggling out front. I'm waiting to see if it recovers, but I'll probably have to pull it. Look at that. It doesn't look very good. And then I have the Dichondra Silver Falls, which is so pretty. It's kind of hidden back here. This is something I'm keeping in mind for next year. I need to plant it all around my containers as a spiller, because look how pretty is that. I love it. And then as a thriller, this is by Proven Winners. It's called like Meteor Shower. I'll put the tag up with the exact name. I can't quite remember, but isn't that fun? So pretty. It's kind of starting to slant this way. It was right in the middle when I planted it. I don't know if these aggressive plants are kind of forcing it to the side, but it's kind of just going a little wonky. All right, and our next pot, oh my gosh, look at this sweet potato vine. See, I need to give that guy a haircut. Holy moly, it's taking over. I need to cut it back. Look at this, oh my goodness. Now, this one has a little bit different mixture. I pulled some of the Bermuda Beach that I planted out by my road for one project. I pulled some of those that were struggling and put them in my pots. One of them didn't make it that was in that other pot I just showed you. But this one, there might be one or two here. I think there's two. They look good. They're filling in nicely. I don't mind that they kind of clash with the bubble gum. I think they look pretty. And then we have more of the Dichondra Silver Falls here. I love this. This is a must for next year. I think that'd be so pretty just spilling out like that. Okay, and then one of my losses was the meteor shower for this pot dried out right before I planted it. So what I did, you can see it down in there, I cut it all the way back and it's trying to make a comeback. It has little green leaves, it's looking healthy. I'm just waiting for it to shoot up. Probably doesn't help that this guy's blocking its sunlight, so I keep kind of going in and trying to keep it exposed. I have drip set up in these pots so I don't ever have to water them. I have little emitters that just go to each plant. They're hard to see now because everything's filled in. There's one. But looking so pretty. I just love looking out my window. My kitchen is upstairs, so I like to look out here and see my pots. I actually am going to make an effort to come sit out here in the mornings and have my coffee. This is a great spot, and I don't use it as much as I should. I really take it for granted, so that's kind of one of my little micro goals I have, but just fun. Again, need to contain the sweet potato vine. Well, I hope you enjoyed this quick little update, just my front porch pots, my balcony pots, and of course my maintenance routine. I'll probably be back soon with an update on the pots on my back deck, hopefully before I trim them back, maybe while I trim them back during, we'll see. But anyway, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.